Click. Welcome to A Drink of Wisdom with Nathan Drinkard. I'm Jay Wise. Thanks for spending some of your time with us. As a reminder, our show is hosted on the Anchor app, but you can find us on all the big podcast platforms such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you're looking for the video format of the show, we are up and running at the A Drink of Wisdom YouTube channel. Check us out on all fronts. Like, listen, share, subscribe. We appreciate all the support. Drink, what's going on, man?
Hey, same old, same old. Glad to be back in this thing with you. Another Wednesday, doing what we do. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and you know how we get down to it. We see what they don't, say what they won't, and you know what time it is. Let's talk some sports, baby. Let's roll, baby.
And in episode 45, the Celtics win their fourth straight. NFL players are skipping workouts, and we react to recent events in Minnesota that led to a sports outage on Monday. But we begin with Monday night NBA action from Dallas, where the Philadelphia 76ers beat the Dallas Mavericks 113-95. It was the third win out of four for Philadelphia as they remain in a tie with the Brooklyn Nets for first place in the East. Dallas has now lost 3 of 4, and they continue to sit in the 7th spot in the Western Conference. Blowout win for the Mavericks, never really in the second half, most particularly, it didn't look to be much in doubt. Big game for Joel Embiid. He had 36 points. They also got 20 off the bench from Furkan Korkmaz. Luka Doncic, 32 for Dallas, but they were without Kristaps Porzingis, and he did not receive a whole lot of help outside of that, outside of Jalen Brunson, that is. He had 15. He kind of showed up. But what was your reaction to this game in all, Drink?
This game went exactly the way it was supposed to. Like, let's keep it real. And we kind of hinted on this before the show. When you heard 76ers and Mavericks, that might be a matchup. The Mavericks ain't going to have Porzingis. I know I've been hard on Porzingis, but you know what's even harder? Is him just not playing at all. You know you ain't getting no productivity then, right? So then, once we heard that I'm gonna be honest, they probably took the sales out of this, because I think Dallas at full strength would have had a problem keeping up with the 76ers, and then you don't have your best guy, and then guys you thought was gonna show up. I don't know if Brunson was built to be the second guy when Porzingis is out. I don't know, maybe not. That sounds wild to me. So I'm just gonna be real here. Listen, we had 2 teams here. We had 2 MVP candidates. One MVP candidate is a mile ahead of the other one at this point right now. Just playing out of his mind. That being Joel Embiid. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't take much from this game because it happened the way it's supposed to happen. You have a superior, elite defensive team with a top 2 MVP candidate in Philadelphia, a top 2 defensive player of the year in Ben Simmons. And we know the rest of the accolades. Then you got Dallas coming in here trying to get their wheels going in the right direction. Luka can't do it all by himself, man. Like, he can't do it all by himself, especially against a team like the 76ers this year. So, to be honest with you, I mean, the game went the way it was supposed to. I mean, it was Joel Embiid and everybody else. It was his party. Everybody else came. Luka came, did his thing, but in a losing effort. I don't know how you translate that, but at the end of the day, what I do think Mark Cuban going to have to do when it's said and done at the end of the season, he's going to have to go and reevaluate a lot of these guys. First starting with Porzingis. Like, this is not it. It's like, this team's supposed to be so much better than this. I don't know. And with the 76ers, look, here's the deal. You already know how I feel. The more I watch the 76ers, the more I think they will be the Eastern Conference champions this year. I really just like what they're doing. I feel like the way they're handling business this year is the way we just wanted to see them do this last year and the year before. And so I love what the 76ers are doing. And I think the score is indicative of what should have happened. This was no letdown by the 76ers. Hell, Ben Simmons only had 8 points. It's no outrage. You know why? Because that's a Ben Simmons stat line. That's a stat line. Like, say what you want, but that's a stat line for Ben Simmons. Look, He didn't shoot any threes. He went 50% from the field. Oh, by the way, he went 2 for 6 from the free throw line. That's a Ben Simmons stat line, folks. 6 rebounds, 7 assists, but he was a plus 13. So with all that said, you want him on the court. So with that said, hey, and then you get the bench productivity that you get out of court months. Listen, I ain't mad at it. I don't think this is a game that you look and you said, hey, the 76ers got pushed. This is a game, we really learned something about the 76ers. I didn't learn a damn thing out of this game other than Porzingis is going to be hurt again. He's going to stay hurt. Embiid is still in the MVP conversation. And Ben Simmons is just not interested in shooting the three. That's the only thing I learned from this game. Everything else, it just went status quo for me. So, I don't really got no extra insight. I thought it was one of the rarities that the game kind of went the way I thought it was going to go once Porzingis was announced out of the game.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of those instances where as soon as I turned it on and hey, Porzingis is out tonight with injury management. Like, well, guess I'll try to manage my attention span and keep tuned into this because it was pretty apparent early on that Philadelphia was gonna run him out the building, and not that Porzingis. I don't know if he makes a major difference, in this particular matchup because I don't think there's nobody that's stopping Joel Embiid when he's gonna do that.
At least a more competitive game, though.
I think it would have been more competitive, but in the end, and this is similar to how I feel about Joel Embiid against anybody right now. It's gonna be hard to deal with him. And Porzingis might have helped because you can throw another body at him. But when Maxi Kleber is picking up 2 fouls in like a minute and a half to start the game, it's going to be a long night. And then you bring in, you're bringing in Melly, Nicolo Melly. You're bringing him in there. They up there, resurrecting Willie Cauley-Stein, throwing him in there, and just no chance. Nobody had a chance all night. He was outstanding in the post. The free throw line, limited the free throw. This guy played 26 minutes and dropped 36. And I don't think he played the fourth quarter. And it's an interesting season for the MVP conversation, and we'll probably get into that at some point. But you think about it, so many guys have, missed significant time that it's going to be hard to, it's going to be hard for voters to really hold that against so many different guys. Right. And I think Embiid right now, if he can remain healthy and not miss many more games, I don't think you can miss a whole lot more. But if he can stay healthy and Philadelphia gets the 1 seed, I think Embiid is going to be the MVP. What we saw Monday night against Dallas, that was the stuff of an MVP. And the difference in this game, part of this is Porzingis not being there, but one MVP candidate or caliber player had help and the other didn't. Luka Doncic played pretty well. You go 10 for 20 and, also get to, shoot 11 free throws of your own against a defense to this degree. And this is, Ben Simmons, who, I've been told is in the defensive player of the year conversation, maybe leading it. And Luka Doncic does that because Ben Simmons is 6'10", with, perimeter skills, can guard, 1 through 4, 1 through 5 even. And that's who, was on Luka a lot of the time. And Luka's still doing this. That's impressive in itself. And that can get lost in this really dominant performance by Philly. So I think Luka deserves a lot of credit for how he competed and how he played. It's just unfortunate that he didn't have the horses with him. Jalen Brunson 15, Finney Smith 12, nobody else in double figures. Shout out to Kleber for his 14 minutes with 3 points and 4 fouls. There's a reason I call him by his jersey number and not his name. That's my boy 42 right there, putting in that work. But he's not the only one. I don't think this is what Dallas bargained for from one Josh Richardson. Let's not forget him. This is a pretty key contributor for Philadelphia last year, up to the point where I said, when Embiid, at one point I was like, I would actually like Josh Richardson to close games for Philadelphia. I said that. I don't know what I was thinking in retrospect because Josh Richardson can't be the middle, or close games with his 7 points. That's not going to help very much. So he's a guy that moving forward, if Dallas wants to be serious and give, a team like Phoenix or the Clippers or whoever they wind up playing in the first round, he's a guy that you're going to have to get more from. But can I do want to give Porzingis a little bit of credit. If you look at his last 3 games, 23-12, 26-17, and 31-15. That's something. So I know we rag on Porzingis all the time, and it seems like that it's for whatever reason he's missed when we do a Mavericks game, he misses the game or he's in the game and he's not playing well. The last 3 that he suited up for, those are, I think anybody would take those, that type of production. So, I wouldn't close the book on Porzingis and Dallas just yet. But I do think, you need to see Porzingis and Doncic together come playoff time, operating at peak performance. And then you just have to you got to get better around them. I don't know if they have enough, they seem like a team that needs a legit third scorer. And, Tim Hardaway would really kind of be that guy for me, but he's just a little hit and miss. But Philadelphia, in terms of, and we've touched on this a little bit, Brooklyn obviously has all the firepower in the world, and they're a popular, the general consensus is probably they're the favorite right now. But I wouldn't rule out Philadelphia by any stretch because of how they defend and because no one has anything for Joel Embiid. Brooklyn can throw DeAndre Jordan at him, but Embiid, the thing about Embiid is he can score from anywhere on the floor as a 5. He's obviously got the post game. He can face you up. He can shoot the 3. I do like how he's being a little bit more selective on his threes. I thought last year he took way too many threes, but the way Doc Rivers is utilizing him, and he's doing a lot of pump faking from the 3 and just getting close to the basket. Because if you're a defender, they can't handle him, in the post, and around the rim. So regardless, even if he's making a 3, because he made a 3 at one point, I think Jeff Van Gundy made a great comment. He said that's actually helping the defense because maybe he gets suckered into thinking, oh, I got my 3-point shot, let me take more 3s tonight. And in the end, I think that helps the defense because they had, Dallas had no chance against him on the inside last night.
And don't forget Embiid is a supreme free throw shooter. I think that's an important thing.
That is absolutely right.
For a guy his size, he's gonna get hacked.
Right.
And he knocked down his free throws at an elite level he knocked them down at an elite level for any shooter in the NBA. But for a 5, oh man, that's a different percentile. So I think that's very important too, because now you don't have to worry about taking them off the court at any given time because he's gonna make them free throws. Like you said, he can make the 3. So how many games? This is how I look at the 76ers right now. How many games will we watch the 76ers play and Joel Embiid will not be the best player, especially in the Eastern Conference? Maybe in the Western Conference, it's a few teams. Eastern Conference, all right, they play the Nets. If KD out there, I got it. James Harden, I'm not going to knock that. But outside of the Nets and Milwaukee, you look at the rest of the East, you're like, Joel Embiid is probably the best player on the team for both teams outside of the Nets and the Bucks.
As of right now, today in the East, the only player I'd put above Embiid is Giannis, and that's close. Like you could make a great case for Embiid. You would put Embiid over KD
at
this moment in time? Yeah, I don't think I just haven't seen enough. I'm saying right now I would take Embiid. I think it's a little bit safer. I haven't seen a lot of KD this year. I've seen a lot of him on the sideline, and that's something I've seen a lot of Brooklyn Nets on the sideline. I think we may touch on that down the line. They continue to miss games like it's it's optional to work.